that wasn't a normal I can't continue reaction. It was kind of like a
I think he was in shock. Like, oh my God,
maybe.
my fucking knees just blew out and he didn't know what to he didn't know what was like. It was just it looked genuine reaction.
If he's back there.
Yeah, I would love to believe all these conspiracy theories and these, but the fact of it is, the truth of it is, it was a freak accident. It was a fucking freak accident. He's not going to show up just to get paid. He's not going to show up and have a shitty fight to prove a point. Like, haha, you guys iced me. That, bro, the feelings he's dealing with right now isn't. He would rather have fucking made $0 and at least got to go out there and perform and maybe drop Max and maybe lose a decision for $0. He would take that than taking it what had happened. And way to bring that back.
So we were talking about the guy over here earlier asking about there being a pre-injury. Just on my accounts, the face-off that day is at 80 million views, right? So if there was a pre-existing injury, somebody would have noticed it. She was limping, putting shoes on. He ran right at him. I don't think there was. Anything is possible, but he sure didn't look like it. And for 80 million just on my accounts, you know, that number's got to be massive, and nobody noticed anything. So there you go.
Everyone expected Conor McGregor's explosive comeback to become a legendary UFC moment, but the spectacle collapsed only 1 minute later when the Irish superstar suffered a devastating knee injury. Suddenly, the MMA community erupted into non-stop discussion and heat.
When did you realize that was over?
With Conor?
Yeah.
When he fell down a second time, I was like, oh, this is not good. The first time I thought he just slipped. It's hard to tell. It's wild. It's in the moment. I thought he slipped. And then when he got up and he threw a kick again, I'm like, oh, I don't like how his leg just gave out. That didn't seem like, and I'm still hoping he's just slipping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he's just freaking out because he hasn't been in the octagon in 5 years. And then he started moving around and he like grabbed his knee and buckled.
Okay.
And there was some conversation.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, there was some conversation going on between him and Max Holloway. And I was like, you know, Max is saying he can't fight, like something's wrong. And he said, fight me. He's like, get up. And so he lets him up, and then his knee buckles, and then the referee stops the fight.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always the very, I think it was the very last fight where the ref tried to call it at the end of the third round. And then because he was saying that there was a concussion issue. I mean, I couldn't tell what was going on.
This is the Ilya Topuria fight? The Justin Gaethje fight at the White House?
The Topuria Justin Gaethje fight.
No, he couldn't see.
Okay.
He was saying he couldn't see well. Something was wrong with his right eye.
Well, I mean, it looks like his whole face was puffed up so he couldn't see anything. But okay, so I thought it was a concussion thing, but it was because of his vision.
No, they never.
Dana White later confronted the growing speculation head-on. He insisted McGregor showed absolutely no signs of discomfort throughout fight week or during their face-off. White argued that with tens of millions watching McGregor, especially during that face-off clip, any real limp or obvious physical warning sign would have been nearly impossible to overlook. Still, not everyone bought the explanation. The debate surrounding a possible hidden injury continued gaining momentum even after White's public statement.
I mean, the Patty Pimblett thing right before, you just feel it all in the air. Here we go. I mean, I was expecting at least a one-round war, or, you know, who knew what Conor was capable of as far as cardio or whatever else after a 5-year layoff. And well, there you go. I mean, we're assuming blown ACL. I'm no doctor, but that's what I figured when I saw it, and doctors think the same thing.
Oh, what is going to happen next? Well, first of all, we know he's going to have surgery, okay? Is it a torn ACL? Is it a torn meniscus? If it's a meniscus, he might be back within 6 months. If it's an ACL, a year. It could be 18 months. You never know. Maybe that's the end of his career. But he's only got one fight left on his contract, okay? Now, one would assume, and I'm not speaking for the UFC, I'm a commentator, but I'm speaking on behalf of Michael Bisping here. One would assume the UFC are going to try and renegotiate and sign him to a longer contract before he has that next fight. And he has the right to say, I want to have my last fight and be a free man and go off and do my own thing and maybe start his own promotion, his own fight league, maybe box some people, maybe go and box Jake Paul, do some MMA on Netflix. We don't know, right? But if he does have one fight, who is that person going to be? And what will Conor McGregor look like then? Because he's already had 5 years off with a broken leg. Now he's
Chael Sonnen fueled even more suspicion with one crucial observation. While most attention has focused on the kick that seemingly damaged Conor McGregor's knee, Sonnen pointed toward an earlier, far more revealing moment. He noticed McGregor briefly lost his balance immediately after throwing a punch, an incident Sonnen considered far more alarming than the kick itself. According to Sonnen, that sequence suggested a pre-existing problem with McGregor's movement, fueling speculation the injury may have affected him even before the fight's dramatic ending.
He absolutely surprised, like the most surprised person on the planet, if Conor just showed up for a paycheck, limped in there, and said, I don't care, I'm going to give you guys 1 minute, shave my head into a mohawk, show up, do the intros, and then just bow out 1 minute later. You can say what you want about Conor. One thing he is not, he's not a quitter. One thing he is not is a bamboozler. The body is unpredictable, and every fight is unpredictable. And if you look at Conor, because I've had a lot of people say, man, why would Conor do that? He came out like an idiot, jumped across the cage, threw a kick. Conor always does that. I'm just as disappointed as you guys were because the T-Mobile Arena was absolutely electric. We finally saw it. You're talking about the guy who's supposed to be disappointed that he's finally making the walk, that he finally showed up. I believe he wants to fight me. I believe he tried to fight me. I believe he wanted to fight me. I believe that's how the negotiations went. Other plans were made. But the honor and the integrity of wanting to stick to and be a man of his word since he pulled out of that fight back in 2024, International Fight Week against me, I think he wanted to actually be a man of his word and see through to putting his name on that dotted line that had my name on it. But I know everybody is disappointed, but keep on watching. This ain't the last you're going to see of Conor. And I'm excited to see how it all plays out. God bless. I'll see you at the top.
Brian, putting out his sneakers. Could he have been injured before the fight?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, that I don't know. I mean, the day of the press conference, he came running out of the back and ran right up to him and stopped abruptly and, squared off with him. They were pushing foreheads. And
I'm just wondering if something happened within the last 24 hours. I don't see it on the landing, the actual landing of that plane.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that, but I didn't see, the doctors checked him out before they fight, and he looked damn good at the press conference, and he looked fine at the weigh-ins.
It's just a question of getting paid if you step in the cage.
What's that?
The question of getting paid as you step in the cage.
Well, listen, if anybody saw anything that could have possibly made him look weak or injured leading up to this fight, I mean, what the fucking face-off do? 44 million in 24 hours? More than 44 million views. Somebody would have saw something. Anybody see something? No. If they did, they didn't say it, which is impossible. No.
As the debate surrounding the fight's outcome refuses to fade, Michael Bisping has shifted attention toward Conor McGregor's uncertain future. Bisping believes McGregor's biggest priority is recovering from surgery, with everything depending on the true severity of his injury. Looking beyond recovery, Bisping notes McGregor is reportedly approaching the end of his current UFC contract, with only one fight remaining. That opens several possibilities, including signing a new deal, pursuing opportunities outside the UFC, or even retiring altogether, according to Bisping. The biggest question now is what version of McGregor returns to
an absolute shit ton, $30 million for almost no work. Didn't really take a punch. Max Holloway got paid for nothing as well. The fight didn't happen, and of course, everyone's out there. They've all got opinions. Everyone's calling it a fix and saying that he was injured beforehand and this and that, and shut the hell up, okay? Anytime Conor McGregor fights, anytime there's a big, huge fight, you get tons of casuals tuning in. They don't know what they're talking about. Conor McGregor often starts his fights with something wild. And when you've been away from the sport for 5 years and you're walking into the octagon at the T-Mobile Arena and they've got the dry ice and the crowd is going crazy for you, yeah, you got a fair bit of adrenaline running through your body and you're asking yourself a lot of questions like, have I still got it? Can I still do this? Okay. Am I still the guy? Am I as good as what I used to be? Because you never know. Maybe throughout that training camp, maybe he knew he wasn't as good as what he used to be. And that's why he looked really nervous, because he did look nervous before the fight. But that's understandable for all the reasons that I just listed. And the reason he ran out there and jumped in the air and threw that stupid kick that blew his knee out is because of the nerves. And also because he wants to show everyone, I've still got it. I'm still that guy. And you never know. There's a crazy world where the kick
is tough. It's tough. I really wanted him to come back and have a good performance. I thought Holloway was going to win by TKO, so I guess I'm correct. But I didn't want to be correct like that. I wanted to at least see a performance where I knew. Has McGregor still got it a bit? Is McGregor still in the mix? Can he not beat Holloway, but he could beat so-and-so? You know? I was thinking, okay, even if Holloway finishes McGregor in round 4 and McGregor looks good early, does he still beat Dan Hooker if he comes back and fights Dan Hooker? You know? It was just a few of those things where I was just hoping I'd get some answers for what level McGregor's at after these 5 years off. To be honest, he did look a little slow, but it was at welterweight, so that's hard to tell because I'm used to seeing him at featherweight and his prime at lightweight, but it sucks, man. I don't know what they're going to do.
In an unbelievable twist, what seemed destined to become one of combat sport's greatest comeback stories collapsed in heartbreaking fashion. One devastating injury changed everything within a single moment. Conor McGregor has finally spoken out, visibly devastated by the brutal leg injury that ended his night prematurely. Despite rumors claiming he looked unusual during his walk to the cage, McGregor insisted he had never felt more prepared or sharper for any fight. He maintained that he was calm, focused, and completely confident before the opening bell. Still processing.
Devastated. UFC 329 just ended in a wet fart. As Conor McGregor, in the first second of the main event, sprinted toward Max Holloway, as we all held our hopes high in the air that this was the return of the Mac, that maybe, just maybe, potentially he could turn back the clock 10 years from 2026 to 2016 and show us one more time the magic of the Mystic Mac. He sprinted across the cage, took 2 or 3 steps, jumped, and performed a switch kick in midair, landing on his right leg and knee, and it immediately buckled. He tore his ACL, potentially his meniscus, and the fight was essentially over before it even began.
Do you think Conor McGregor fights again?
I do. Yeah, I do think Conor fights again. He still, has that fire and he still wants to compete. So, he has his last fight on his UFC contract. So I'm sure he wants to fulfill that and then, see what the future holds for himself. But, Conor, he needs fighting. He really does, to keep structure in his life, to keep everything sane in his mind. So, fighting's good for Conor. So, he needs that.
Why I don't think there's going to be another comeback for him, right? Especially if it's a torn ACL, it's going to be another year off. I just don't think he's going to have the crowd behind him like he did for this one. He can maybe talk his way into it, but like I said, he's really not even that good of a talker anymore. Maybe you give him a Chandler fight, but Chandler, you're going to wait another year, then probably another year of him training to come back. I just think
early medical evaluations pointed toward a likely meniscus tear. Although a torn ACL could not be completely ruled out, a respected doctor, widely known for delivering accurate ringside diagnoses, observed that the injury failed to display the usual characteristics of a serious ACL tear. In his expert opinion, the damage appeared far more consistent with a pre-existing meniscus problem that became dramatically worse because of the impact from the landing.
Proof of that he was fine before the fight. There's not. Because he comes out and throws this kick, immediately bouncing off of his left foot, putting no weight on his right foot, and trying to land that. And at no point do we see Conor McGregor using his right foot to be able to move in and out of range, throwing punches healthily. We have zero evidence of that. Yes, we have him hitting the pads like this and seemingly struggling to regain his balance after kicking the pad once and then walking off after, the third kick. That still is no proof that Conor McGregor was in any way healthy enough to do a 25-minute fight with Max Holloway, jumping in and out of range, hitting pads the way he used to. Think of how static McGregor was when he was throwing those kicks. Now look at McGregor when he's in full flow, bouncing around, jumping all over the place. I mean, like, looking fluid movement. This is exactly what McGregor is. It's all about movement and fluid movement. It's not about standing in one spot like that. That's McGregor on pads in full flow. Because that body language, so much of it was screaming out to someone like me who knows McGregor the way I've been watching him so closely for so many years, analysing him for video after video after fucking video. I fucking know some shit is wrong when I see it. And you can disagree with me all you like. I don't take any offence. But even on the motherfucking ring walk, man. This is a normal Conor McGregor ring walk, okay? This is how he walks out the ring. Look at the fucking intensity in his eyes, man. It's all about the fight. It's all about, I can't wait to get in there and fucking put a beating on this guy. I am ready. And just watch the way he carries on shadow boxing the whole time. He's in the fucking zone, right? This is all about the fight, rehearsing the fight in his head over and over and over again. The fight that's about to happen. Now look at him. Looks like he's going to the fucking shop. Looks like he's going to walk the dog. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing. There is absolutely no intensity there. That doesn't look like a man who's about to have a fucking fight. Not his first fight in 5 years where he should be a bit.
Footage quickly exploded across social media, showing Conor McGregor struggling to remove his shoes during the pre-fight inspection. That moment instantly ignited widespread suspicion. The MMA community rapidly theorized McGregor may have hidden a previous injury specifically to secure his fight purse. Critics argue that if those allegations were true, and if the UFC knew about them, it would deal a devastating blow to the sport's integrity. They insist fans who paid to attend state.
I only heard like the last minute, but I think he's dead on. Like, I think he tried to conjure up all the things from the past that it just doesn't work like that. Look, we said it, 5 years being away and doing the right thing is hard. Like even Dominic Cruz alluded to that. You know, that guy was doing everything right. He wasn't partying. And it was 3 years, I think he said. 5 years, I mean, steroids and fucking cocaine. I don't even know. I'm not saying it allegedly, whatever the hell it is. It's a lot, man. It's a lot on your body. Your body, there's things, I'm sure, Kenny, you think your brain says you could do, and you know you can't do it, right? You know what I mean? Like the brain is a really weird thing. It's going to make you believe certain things that just aren't true. And I think that's what we saw. Just he looked old when he got in there. He did. He looked very old to me.
Yep.
And this is not an old man's game at that weight class for sure.
Yep.
And, you know, the inactivity, I just think everything we said was kind of nothing. I don't think he was hurt before. He was throwing those kicks in the dressing room, but why he would even want to lead with a technique like that at this age? Like the older you get, Kenny, that's what you want to be, jumping in the air. Takes a lot of cardio to jump in the air too.
I watched him doing media in New York. I then the following week watched him doing media in Los Angeles. But I'm being told he's in the gym training in Ireland. I just brought that to your attention. So I even reached out to his team. I said, hey, where's he training at? They said, no, he's all set up. He's at a gym in California. So well, that's great. I got a camera crew and I got a team out there in Dana Point. I'll get him over to the gym. I know every gym in California. Where's he at? Well, and the gym doesn't have a name. Gym doesn't have a name. Okay. Who's he training with? I didn't ask this question, but I'm just saying to you guys, who's he training with? Because it comes back to Telephone Telegraph or Telefighter. Those training partners, above the workouts, above the dollars they're going to get for rounds and time, they would like some exposure. They would love a picture with Conor McGregor, blow that up on their social media. They would love that. No one posted anything. So then you have the coaches. Now, I know that Conor keeps that staff tight. I have no doubt that the Coach Roddy, the Coach Kevin, I have no doubt that the team was there, but working out with who? And it's a very meaningful question because there were some moments in that fight. Okay, there was one very specifically. Everything that I have heard so far is talking about the jumping kick or the kicks by Conor and the leg going out. I didn't see what Joe Rogan saw. Joe Rogan was confident in telling the broadcast world that he blew out his knee. That may be accurate information. I'm just sharing for you. I didn't see that. Now, the moment, if you go back and rewatch this fight, the moment where you question and go, oh no, oh no, this human, this young man, Conor, isn't ready. He didn't prepare right. He throws a punch, right? We're all thinking of the kicks, but if you rewatch it, he threw a punch and he went down. He lost his balance.
Conor McGregor's latest injury has completely divided the MMA community, with speculation spreading faster than ever. MMA Guru, for example, questioned whether McGregor's behavior after the injury points toward a much deeper story. McGregor recently expressed frustration over his UFC contract, claiming promotional obligations were delaying his future.